morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Thursday, December 4th, 2025. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Thursday, everyone. Here's a look at the ES in the daily time frame right now. Super narrow range heading into the RTH Open. Just 17 whole points of range. That is 17% of average right now. You can see the clear drop in volatility here. Ever since we had that massive spike day and the return day here, volatility has dropped. The narrow range has continued to play out here in the ES, first starting as a 2, now 3 and 4 day compression. We're now at the top end of that range, but still inside the range in this super narrow range heading into the RTH Open, but now a 5-day range. This is an easy 200 to 250 point breakout move that could be building. Do we break out today and start to work our way higher, or do we fall back into the range below and continue to build out the 6-day, 7-day, 8-day range as we head into the Fed next week? So right now, keeping an eye on this early development here. Again, failing to hold the lower end of today's range starts to open up the midpoint and the previous session's low down across the range. If we can get a breakout, we start to open up some upside that could lead to a continuation towards 7,000 up above, but more importantly and quickly, that October FOMC key level at 69.35 half. All right, looking at the NQ, 17% of ADR as well heading into the RTH Open. That is 89 points of total range. Look at this tiny doji, barely can see it on the chart. We do have a narrow range here as well over the last 4 sessions, now 5. Again, bullish continuation here off the recent lows. Can this thing open up some more upside here up ahead? That narrow range right here could open up a continuation up to that FOMC key level here, 26,255. That would be the October FOMC key level as we return to that level just ahead here of next week's Fed. So next Wednesday, we get the next FOMC meeting, rate decision, and statement, and the press conference. We're going to get a ton of volatility to finish the week next week. So right here, do we continue to build out ahead of that action? Perhaps so. And if so, then maybe we get a little bit of a pullback here today and then continue a little bit higher and continue the trend that we've been seeing in the NQ. All right, looking at crude oil. This one continues to be range bound, continues to be inside day. Yesterday finished as an inside day. Today already an inside day. 33 1/3% of average range at the moment. That's a 10-period average. This one has held pretty steady in terms of volatility lately because it's really done the same thing for the last 6-8 weeks. I mean, it's gone kind of sideways to down and really just kind of quieted up here, trading just under the $60 level. Again, this is kind of a hands-off until it makes the first move. Once it makes that first move, it could be a quick fade the opposite way for a nice seasonal bullish move, but waiting for that reaction to occur. Watching gold here within a narrow range. As we mentioned before, keep an eye on that pivot high. The expectation wasn't really for a breakout and continuation. The expectation is to kind of stay within this range. So, while we got a good bullish move and we can continue to see some strength, if we fail to hold that pivot, we kind of rotate back down. A bit of a holding pattern the last 5 sessions here. Volatility has really slowed down with gold here lately, but there's been some decent movement day over day in certain times. I mean, these are some good high range directional days here. Followed by periods here of compression. So even if today is kind of a compressed day, we could be looking at some more directional conviction here pretty soon. Maybe it's the next push up. Maybe we fail here and we get the return trip back down. Are we getting this day or this day? One of these days is coming up here pretty soon here. So the next wave of volatility could enter the market here for gold on a very near-term basis. Looking at the YM, this one's trading 79 points of range, just 13% of ADR. This one is the one that really stunned me heading into the RTH Open here today as I looked at the chart and thought, what happened here? Someone unplugged it because there's no action at all. This is, I can't remember something sub 13% of ADR here. That's super narrow, especially against recent volatility to be under 100 points in general. 79 just very narrow. So again, range bound after a bullish finish here yesterday. That was a very, very bullish finish, something very similar to what we saw back here. We also saw a compression day that followed, still a bullish bias as we mentioned. So until this thing really fails, we're still rotating to the upside as of right now. Narrow range here, so narrow means that you can take out the high and the low today, and in both directions multiple times. So if we drop, it can rally, then drop as we build out the range today. So range bound, fade the edges, short-term price targets here with very close stops today. Looking at, let's go to Bitcoin here. Now, I've been a little suspect of Bitcoin ever since this rotation here, that massive rally here. We were suspect here. We got that downward move. We've been on top of it in terms of the sell rotations here, and we've had a lack of a strong low the entire way. And that's why, again, even on this pop and on this move right now, still watching it very closely here, because the next rotation down could easily be ahead, even if we bounce a bit further to the upside, because we do lack a strong low. We got decent lows for a little swing bounce, but again, is this rip going to be sold for the next dip ahead? And as of right now, still in a bearish trend. We are at the counter trend extreme at the moment, and this would be the best opportunity to continue to watch for signs of rejection or failure to hold these levels, as a rotation back down could be in play. Remember, after this type of rotation here, we've been seeing 17 to 20,000 point rotations. So if we rotate from 95,000, we have down to 75 that could still be in play on the next 8 to 10 day rotation. So still watching it closely here. That's not to say we can't rally, but got to watch it closely. Now, what would make me bullish here would be a failed low followed by a outside day up. That type of thing right there could easily get us a 10, 15, or even 20,000 point rotation to the upside, and maybe we get back to the 112 FOMC key level above. So there is that potential, but got to let it prove that it can do it. The ETH chart right now showing a little bit more strength here against Bitcoin, but right now testing year-to-date value from below after it came into it and had a weak bounce. Then it took it offered for a drop. This is the first retest since taking it offered here, and typically speaking, that would lead to another rotation back down. If bulls are able to get it bid hard here, maybe we can turn around off of this level and make a rotation back to the FOMC key level above 40.10. As I mentioned before, 40.10 is a very high likelihood target at some point, sooner than later, but at some point on an FOMC key level that goes offered. Once you do find the strong low, you get a high odds return back to that level at some point. And that's why I meant before, how far can we go down? Because there could be a double if this thing drops a little bit lower here. If we get one more move down like this, like we've had here and here and here, the target is somewhere between 1900 and 2100. And if we can drop into 2005, that's a double back to this level. So watching and being patient here, because while we could see a little bit of near-term strength here, is it the strong low? Is it the best potential price we can have? Do we get one more flush? If so, that could provide a tremendous opportunity down the road. So continuing to watch this very, very closely here at year-to-date VWAP. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out here heading into the rest of the session. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.